Hey guys, welcome to the 3D Animation Hub. My name is Ryan, and today we're going to be reacting to the Apex Legends cinematic that came out about a week ago. Now, holy shish kebab, it's been like 3 months since the last reaction video. If you're new here and you're not sure how we do this, you're unfamiliar with the channel, when we do reactions, we first react, then we pop it over SyncSketch and take a look at it from an animator's perspective, kind of analyze some of the shots, try and get to the juice, get to the secrets of the shots, and kind of point out anything cool that we see. So, if all that sounds like a good time, make sure to smash that like button, hit the sub button to stay notified of future animation and reaction videos, and let's hop in. Alright, so just a little disclaimer, I haven't played Apex Legends since Season 2, I think. What is it, Season 6? 7? 8? I don't know. It's been a while. It's been a while. So my my knowledge of the game is a little and the characters also a little so bear with me. I probably won't remember character names, but I should know what's happening. I think. I hope. I also don't know any of the new characters' skills. I think the last character that I actually that came out when I was playing is the guy who pumps himself full of adrenaline and then leaps really high. Alright, let's smash that like button, maximize this bad boy, and let's watch this.
You call yourselves legends.
You call yourselves legends.
Time for a new game.
Some anarchist?
I'm in the pipe, 5x5.
What's this? New character maybe, I don't know. I'm liking the style though. It kind of looked like an in-game. They do. It looks like in-game models and like in-game textures and stuff, but I think that's just like the aesthetic they're going for. Whoa, some Valkyrie type character. That's cool.
You can have the ground.
Oh, I have this guy. Oh, I guessed it. This guy. There we go. That's the last character I was there for. This is dope. Too slow, amigos. That's cool. That was cool.
All yours, darling.
You cannot outrun the current. C'est la vie.
Sport type character? That's cool. This guy's Mirage. I remember this guy. That's Mirage.
Hey, how's it going?
That's great.
Remember me?
Great.
Mirage, really?
They just killed someone?
Again?
What? I'm a legend, right?
That's great.
Man, this is really intense.
I'm still not sure what the story is. It seems like they're just trying to show off the characters. Bastion, I think? I don't think.
Legacy of a
Is that
champion
it?
cannot
Oh no,
be measured by
it's not
simple
done yet.
victories. It is measured by resolve, by commitment to a single focus.
This guy's in his bat cave, watching the battle.
Conviction. Vengeance.
That's
It is
cool.
time
I'm
to
loving the
return
vibe of the
momentum to where it
music
started.
and just like the constant action. I love it.
A little underground brutality.
It's cool.
That's a hell of a way to go.
Wait.
When you get
isn't-
to hell,
Oh, she's got a bow and arrow.
Valkyrie sent you.
Alright, I might start playing the game again. That's all I needed. I just need to see a bow and arrow. I'm in.
Welcome to the legacy of the Apex.
Who is this?
Welcome to the arenas.
Arenas. Yeah, that was cool. That was cool. It's coming out in... Oh, it came out 2 days? 2 days ago? It came out 2 days ago. Okay, I might actually download the game and play the new character because that was pretty dope. But yeah, guys, let's bring this bad boy to SyncSketch and talk about some of the cool scenes that we saw. Let's go. We got our glove, we got our stylus, and we got our tablet. Let's analyze some animation. Alright, so we got the intro here. We got this person watching whatever's happening on a monitor. And we're introduced to one character right away. And we're probably wondering what the hell is going on, but then the following shot, we get this really nice establishing shot that oh, ew, what's it brown? It shows us what we're about to see, where it takes place. So instantly we're just introduced to complete and utter chaos from every direction. Everyone's shooting at each other, you don't know who's on whose side, which is pretty much how the game goes. Okay, so here we got the character coming in a very nice looking arc. We just track her here. Here we see that's the same character we saw in the very beginning of the shot. They're doing a sick barrel roll here. And if we follow this, if we go ahead and use the ghost tool here and say show us, let's say 5 drawings forward and backwards, and turn that on, you'll see here that we get this very nice looking arc. And if you watch my videos, if you watch my analyses, is that the plural? I don't know. Anyways, we love arcs. We animators love arcs, and this is a perfect example. I can imagine how hard this shot must have been, just because it's not just the character coming in and swooping in and doing an arc. The camera is also moving to the side and up as the character is doing it. So what the animator probably had to do was, you know, let's say they had 2 screens. Let's say this screen here is the camera, and this where they can see like what the animation looks like. And then this screen right here is their perspective view, where they can, you know, see the character and rotate around the character. And so what was probably happening is they need the animation to look like an arc in the camera view, but the camera is moving. So what the animator had to do was probably counter animate to the camera. So what was probably happening, let's choose a different color here. Let's say green is our character. So it probably looks something like this, where the character is here in one frame, and then the next frame the character's here, and the next frame the character's here, and the next frame the character's here, and then here. And so, you know, if you were to play this without the camera, it would look like this. It would look like a line like this or something. But since the animator was animating to camera, what you see is this. This is what the poses look like on camera, just because the camera is moving. That's God, I've been there. It sucks. It honestly sucks. So kudos to this animator for making that perfect arc. Oh my lord, the camera even does this. You poor soul. What did you have to go through? Beautiful. Oh, watch. We're gonna go back and it's gonna be another nice arc. Watch here. We're just assuming where he is right now. Oh, there we go. Look at that. It's a nice looking arc going down. Not easy. Look at the camera, man. The camera's doing like camera shake, and you poor animator. You poor animator. Also, this is a sick pose. I love this. She like presses the buttons. She turns into this Valkyrie character, and it's just, this could be a painting by itself. That's just beautiful composition, beautiful pose. I love it. This is really nice. And of course, how are the rockets moving? With an arc. Look at this. All of them are just arcs. Beautiful. And the reason I feel like I should mention this, but I mention it in every video. It's just we naturally, as humans, when we move in arcs. You know, when you move your hand from like here, if you want to bring your hand from here to here, you don't go like in a straight line. You kind of move your elbow, and so it arcs upwards, and then your elbow arcs from your shoulder, and so it's all just arcs. Human motion is arcs, and when we see it on the screen, it's just very appealing to our eyes, and that's why animators always try and have all sorts of motion move with arcs. So I was watching that kick, and I'm actually surprised they didn't do any sort of smears, or I guess, because if this was League of Legends, oh my lord, there'd be bendy stuff happening all over the place. There'd be bones breaking, things stretching, but again, it kind of seems like they used game rigs, and usually with game rigs, they're not as extensive as like a film rig. And so maybe they didn't have the option to do smears, maybe the rig just wasn't capable of it, or maybe it's just the art style that they're going with. I'm not sure, but if this was a League animation, we'd be seeing the character charging up here, and about this frame here we jump from the foot being from all the way here to here, which, you know, it's a very strong kick, that's why it moves so fast, but it might be a little hard to register. It might be hard for the kick to register on the eyes when playing it real time. And so there's two ways to go about this. One is to hold the kick here for like another 2 frames just so it registers, and I kind of do that, kind of. But another thing is to, since it's moving this much distance in one single frame, again, hard to register, so they could have smeared this leg to, you know, just enlarge it here and have it kind of smear into this position. And so like this would be like this entire green thing would be the leg. That would just like help us as viewers watching this in real time, help us register that kick in our heads. So let's watch this with drawings and let's watch this without drawings once. So that was with drawings, and now let's watch it without drawings. So this is without drawings. One more time. Okay, and here's with drawings. It just, to me at least, it just feels like I kind of missed that kick when I watched it the first time. It looked like something hit him, and you obviously there's that vocal cue of ugh, there's like the grunt as though he got hit, but I didn't really register her foot hitting the guy. But let's move on to another shot. Of course, we got the crackhead guy who's just juiced up. So this is pretty cool. And first of all, I love that jump. I love that little jump he does. But here's kind of interesting because they keep the character in the right side of the screen, more on the screen right here. And what they do is that they do it.
Have you ever had a dream that you could?
They do an entire 180-degree turn. So before we're looking at the character completely from the behind, and now we're doing it. You know, we're turning around in front of the character, making a 180-degree camera move. But if we go back, they're kind of trying to keep the character around the same area here. So if we go back, yeah, so just so we don't lose the character, they're keeping the character in the same area in the screen right and inside like a small little circle, just so it's not too disorienting for us as viewers. So we can track the character even though the camera is in front of us, even though the camera is in front of the character now and he's going a different direction. This is I just want to look at this because this is pretty cool. I love that. And then here it kind of looks like the character's arm is stretching a little bit. So either it's the light hitting the arm really weird, or it looks like the arm is actually like stretched here to try and like sell that, like push off the, I just cracked my elbow, sell that push off the containers. But if that's the case, if it is stretching, then the lack of stretch in the other one might actually be an artistic choice. So here we get a nice comedic relief, nice slowdown of pace, because it's just been crazy shooting non-stop. Catch a little breather here with Mirage doing his comic relief thing, and then it just turns really freaking dark. Jesus, that guy just ragdolls on the floor. Oh my god. I love this part. Wraith just laser focused, mission ahead, and then you got Mirage constantly looking back and distracted, and then what happens? He trips on oh no. He trips on some rocks, and I love that. I love how he loses his balance. Oh, by the way guys, look at this beautiful pose. Look at this beautiful line of action. You have the arms in this very dynamic pose. You got this beautiful curve, and so the way they achieve this kind of arm control is by controls here on the wrist and controls here. It's kind of extra controls on top of like the elbow and the hand, because otherwise your poses would look very stiff. You can't really, like, if I do that, it'll look like a, you know, just 2 lines. Usually rigs have another controller here where you can bring that out a little bit as well, just because that that nice smooth curve just looks a lot better and a lot more dynamic in just any sort of situation, really. So this is what happened. This is what happened here. They had another control here and they kind of pulled it out. Same with here. They pulled it out to create this nice circular look, this nice arc with their arms. I love that. I love that pose. And then as he loses balance, of course, it just completely breaks. That beautiful pose just completely breaks. Everything's just jagged. You got this X pose. I don't know. That's what it's making for me. Yeah, and it just goes from beautiful to just horrendous. he just buckles hard there, almost dies. Oh my god, he's crawling on all fours. That's amazing. Oh my god. So here's the opposite. Here we have a robot that, you know, you can't have a robot be squishy. And so his dynamic pose is, you know, we got his hips tilted this way, his chest tilted this way, and his screen is a very nice pose, but his arms are just dead straight. And that's aesthetic for a robot. You know, if this was a human, probably a little bit more curved like that if this were to be human, but it's a robot, so this like jaggedy, like, you know, angled looks kind of work for it. It's still very bouncy though. Like if you pay attention, his cog is like going up and down like a bouncing ball. It's just bouncing up and down here. Just ding ding ding. Just kind of bounces up and down. It's pretty nice. So the last thing we're gonna talk about is this close-up right here, and more particularly this character's eyes. If you guys pay attention to just the iris and also just the surrounding area, when the character moves their eyes, like look at that movement. So the eye darts from, you know, here to here, and after it darts, what happens is the eyelid actually follows the eye. And usually what happens is, just realistically, when you look somewhere, your eyelids and your eye follows. Just because your eye isn't just right here, it's this giant ball, you know, behind your face. So you're rotating that ball. So you're actually rotating this entire ball, and you know, you have your eyelid on top of this. And so when you rotate like down, what happens is the upper eyelid will likely close down with you looking down. Your upper eyelid will go lower, and your lower eyelid will actually go lower too. And so let's redraw this. And so for example, if you're looking up here, and let's say this is your eyelid, when you decide to look down, your lower eyelid will actually come down with your eyeball. And the same is true with your upper eyelid. So both upper and lower will actually move down when you look down somewhere. Obviously this is like minus any sort of like emotion, or like, you know, if you're like squinting, it probably wouldn't go down. But generally when you move your eye left, your eyelids kind of shift a little bit, move right, eyelids shift up and down, etc. It's that whole part of the face is very very connected. And when you show that, which is kind of, you know, it's being showed here, it sells the action a little bit more. If your eye you know, movement is completely isolated, if it's completely isolated from anything else on the face, then it kind of the character won't seem alive. And they approached it well here. So let's take a look at it again, real time. Let's look at that again. Yeah, so that, you know, that entire shot was just like him talking and just the eye darts, and it felt very realistic. Alright, if you stayed this long, you're an absolute unit. If you learned something along the way, if you liked this video, if you enjoyed it, you can support me by smashing that like button for the YouTube algorithm gods. And before I end things, I want to give a huge thank you to my Patreons. Thank you guys so much for your continuous support. If you're also thinking of supporting me, I have a Patreon link down below for you guys. With all that out of the way, happy animating, and I will see you guys in the next video.